we've just heard it's the Premier's stadium, according to the Transport Minister. We know that she already thinks it's the Premier's Olympics, and the abuse we've just seen in regard to the basics of accountability, that this government thinks that they've had 170% blowout because they forgot in a $1 billion project to include female toilets. They forgot, shock horror, to follow the law in regard to disability access. So don't blame us if we want to increase the price again by $1.7 billion because this Labor government was so incompetent when they came up with a $1 billion project that they forgot to put the loos in the right place with access for everybody. So how can we trust them? That's why this motion of the opposition is so important. Let the sun shine in. Release the actual business cases. Well, were the business cases? The Auditor General has spelled the cat. He's exposed the fact that the only information that he had in regard to the $1 billion price tag was essentially a media release. And yet this government has the gall to actually stand up, trying to keep a straight face when they say, no, it's the cost blowouts in constructions and the fact that there weren't women-specific toilets and changing rooms and disability access. How incompetent are they? There's supposed to be a whole machinery of government in respect to doing the planning, doing the scoping, and they come up with a $1 billion project that didn't have that. Minister, you should resign after that appalling contribution.
Comments will be directed through the chair, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That minister over there, Minister for Transport, has presided over multiple projects with multiple blowouts, and yet he can come into this place in regard to the projects that will potentially cost other Queenslanders the infrastructure that they need if they're not managed in a way that respects the fact it's not the Premier's stadium or Premier's Olympics, but it is the people's money. Have some respect for Queenslanders. Have some respect for the $10 billion. You have overblown your budgets, and the minister over there is partly responsible, largely responsible for that. So what a joke. They want to blame cost blowouts with the Labor's personal construction increase index, which is beyond anything anywhere else in Australia. They're very special indeed. So I want to also talk about our motion, which is about releasing the business cases. Why is this government against integrity? They talk about it before elections. They vote against it on the floor of the House. Let's see the sunshine shine in regard to the real facts and figures. Don't hide the figures. Trust the people. It's their money. It's their Olympics. It's their future that's being mortgaged by this government that has no respect for the dollars that are being spent. We saw that in that Let the Sunshine In report, it had some critical comments about commercial and confidence and the way this government hides behind it as a personal shield, because they say things are commercial and confidence, like Wellcat, where over $220 million was spent. And what's going to happen with the Olympics as another $1 billion here or $1 billion there is wasted? People don't get their hospitals. They don't get their birthing services. They don't get the rail, the roads and other services through all of Queensland that they not only deserve, they have paid for, but this government has mortgaged and wasted it in regard to poor planning. And they have the audacity to come in here and say they're going to vote against releasing the information. What have you got to hide? Release it, Minister. I say through the chair. Release it, all of the cabinet ministers, I say through the chair. Trust the people, trust them with the money because it's theirs. They should see this. If we're going to see success in infrastructure in this state, you've got to release the information, have accountability and integrity, and start building some infrastructure that's going to serve all of Queenslanders to deliver what they need into the future. They deserve that. That's why I support this motion. That's why it will be an absolute disgrace if the government votes against integrity measures to release the information that will. The Premier was elected on a platform of integrity and accountability, but she has changed. She has changed. The Olympics is hers. We've heard from the Transport Minister the stadium is hers, thus the 170% blowout, and now she's taking it in-house because apparently there will be less cost blowouts, while pigs may fly backwards.
Deputy Speaker.